This is Basketball More Than a Game with your hosts, Coach Goins and Coach Quick. Former high school coach and player have teamed up again to share their knowledge of the game and life skills on and off the court. Now here are Coaches G and Q.
All right, this is Coach Goins along with Coach Quick, and you know what? We are steady rocking and rolling during February Black History Month. We are so excited about everything that's popping off. I guess so far what we got planned for the month, dropping in some sound bites from some absolutely dynamic past Black History folk. Coach Quick, man, I'm so excited, man. What's popping?
Hey, you want to know what's popping with Coach Quick? Well, Coach Quick is so excited about our very special guest today via telephone. I feel like I'm on the campus at Greensboro College, waiting on a superstar tennis player to win a championship. So after this short break, we're going to come right back and introduce our very special guest. So make sure those sneakers are laced up tight.
All right, Coach Quick has set the table, and we are so excited. You know what? It's not every day that we get an opportunity to have a homegrown product. When I say homegrown product, you know, I'm from North Carolina, so is Coach Quick, and so is our special guest. So without further ado, let's do the right introduction. We wanna welcome this gentleman to the show. He is a legend from back in Moore County around the Union Pines campus. He was a state championship tennis player. He played basketball. He played football. And now he is doing this for over 30 years. And when I say 30 years in the tennis profession, we like to welcome to Basketball More Than a Game none other than Coach Pat Williams. Coach, welcome to Basketball More Than a Game.
Thanks, guys. Glad to be here. Appreciate you guys having me on the show.
Yes, sir, man. So, Coach Quick, man, I folks, let me say this before I toss it over to Coach Quick. I told him, I said, man, these Union Pine guys are surrounding me. So I might have to call in for some backup from PC. But no, we're gonna set this table up, and it's great to have on Pat. And actually, I was on some social media. Next thing I know, Coach Quick, I saw him doing the advertisement, and I saw these buildings in the background. I said, man, that's Pat. And I clicked on that, and then it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, man, we got to have him on the show. So without further ado, I'm going to kick it over to the hottest co-host to get us kicked off. Coach Quick.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, Coach G, when you're a Viking for life.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
Okay.
Yes, sir. All right, Coach Williams, my first question for you today. How has sports impacted your life?
Oh, wow. That's it's probably made me the man I am today. Was discipline and just being able to understand and work as a team and work with people. Sports has been in my life ever since I was small, playing basketball, tennis, and football. And it's made me who I am. I mean, I don't know nothing without sports.
Yes, sir. Hey, I love it. I'm the same way. Sports, that's what it's about for me. And knowing you and the transition that you made throughout high school and on to college, man, I completely agree. You were a heck of a quarterback at Union Pines as well as a tennis player in basketball. So, man, congratulations on your successful career and keep doing what you've been doing, brother.
Thank you.
Well, you know,
yes, sir.
You know, and that kind of leads me into. I want to go down this road because here's the thing: how many people that play quarterback in high school are tennis professionals? So here's the thing. All right, so let me ask you this, Pat. When did you know? I mean, think about it, folks. We have on a 3-sport letterman: football, basketball, and tennis. Most of the time, it's football, basketball, and baseball. So here's where I want to go. I want to start with tennis first because that's what you're doing now. Of course, he's the head coach of Greensboro College. That's in Greensboro, North Carolina, and Pat's on via telephone. But we'll start with when did the passion? How did that passion of tennis start?
I think it started with Coach Lynell Williams back at Carthage Elementary.
Wow.
If you guys know Coach Lynell Williams,
yes, sir.
That's a special person for all of us who grew up in the big city of Carthage, North Carolina. He was he introduced it to me and a good buddy of mine at the time in middle school. And it was because we didn't have a track team at the time. And it was the first time I didn't pick something up that I was good at. I wasn't, it didn't just come out and was easy. It wasn't like basketball where we played all the time in the backyard or played football. It was a new challenge. And at that point, you take a couple of L's and you realize, hey man, I can't we can't take these beatings every time we come out here on this court. So you start grinding at something that's totally new, and it creates something different in you because you want to be good at it because you've been successful in your life at other things, and then it created a passion to want to be good at something that wasn't as natural to me at the time.
Wow, we certainly appreciate that transition, and it's ironic, isn't it, Coach Quick, that he mentions Mr. Lynell Williams, and actually Lee Williams was on the show a couple of weeks back, his son, and actually Lee's show will air tonight at 6 o'clock. So great segue, yeah, and we we definitely send our love to Coach Williams because we know that he's impacted so many people, and that's what's interesting, Coach Quick. Like I said, go from football to basketball, and then I guess coming out of that gym, it's nice to get on that court. So, folks, here's the thing, and for those of you who don't know, Pat is the state champion in 1991, representing Union Pines High School. Now, let me ask you this question: it's Black History, so in that, how many people of color? When you were at Union Pines and playing in the conference and then getting in the state tournament, how many other black tennis players did you run across?
I know it was me and Walter Williams, my classmate on the same team. I can't really think of many other guys that we saw throughout our time in high school there playing. Maybe one or two from a couple of other conference schools at the time. Maybe one or two from Jordan Matthews or something like that to fill out some rosters, but I don't recall many. It would be less than 5 out of 4 years. I know that.
Wow. That's incredible. So let me ask you this question. And Coach Quick, I'm going to kick it over to you. I'm not trying to hog the show, but it's just here's the thing. So what do you think? And again, Pat, not to put you on the spot, what do you think causes African American males really not to look at tennis as a major sport?
Popularity. You just don't see it. It's not as popular as basketball and football, obviously. You don't get the notoriety, even though you see guys in the game today who are doing well, but not. You don't have any African American males other than Tiafo at the present time that's getting a lot of recognition, even though in the juniors there's quite a few that play, but on that large stage there's not many. Wow. So you just don't get it. And then tennis tennis in a whole isn't as popular as the other sports.
Okay, good. Appreciate you taking on that. Coach Quick, I'll kick it over to you.
Yes, sir. Well, I'll say this, Pat. Our young African American males, they might need to get educated a little bit more on the tennis game because it's definitely a moneymaker. You know what I mean? So they might need to get a little bit more educated about the game of tennis. And to piggyback off of that a little bit now, you played for Coach Williams in tennis in the middle school realm, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then at Union Pines, you went on to play for Coach John Fry.
Yes, the legendary Coach John Fry.
Well, that's my thing there. You played for two absolute legends in the Moore County community, and that's outstanding, right? When you can say that you played for two living legends in John Fry and Lynell Williams, man, I got to give a hand praise for those guys because I'm here to say you played for absolute legends, sir.
Yes.
And I'll let you go ahead and elaborate on Coach Fry and Coach Williams.
You know, I can remember Coach Williams introduced me to tennis, and then while I was still in middle school, Coach Fry wanted to come work with me and Walter. And so this was sort of like our first official lesson, if you call it that. And I remember it was like it was yesterday. It was a rainy day. And Coach Fry came out came out. It was a rainy day, and we went in Carter's gym, and he worked us out on the wall on how to hit a tennis ball. And we spent at least an hour and a half in there working on drills on a wall, showing us how to hit a tennis ball. And I remember when I started coaching or teaching tennis when I was 19 at one of the local parks in Greensboro, I remember saying the same things that I'd heard from Coach Fry and from Coach Williams to start teaching. And it's amazing how those things, they made it so simple and plain that I could pick it up. And I just felt like, well, if I could pick it up, anybody should be able to pick it up if I just keep it simple and plain. So my whole thought process on everything is just make it simple and plain. And back then, when I met with Coach Fry and working with him, he used to come and get us. He used to come get me in the summertime, at least once or twice during the summertime in the heat. When I say summer heat, I'm 90-plus degrees. And we'd go out around 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the middle of the afternoon, lots of time after we didn't work in tobacco that day. And he would take me out, and that would be his one-on-one time with me, and he would hit. And he would just show me different things on the tennis court and kind of keep me in rhythm, because I would go right into, from the summer, we'd go right into football season, and then right from football season, right into basketball season. So he would take the time in the summertime to make sure he got a chance to hit with me at least, every other week or something during the summertime, and work me out. So I stayed in form.
Man, that's what I'm talking about. My next question is, when did you know that you were good in sports? At what age? What point in time in your life?
Probably when I was 10, playing basketball, playing 10 and under. I knew I was pretty good in sports at that time. I also ran track. And just before I stopped track to go tennis full time, I finished third on the East Coast for the long jump. Running with Coach Carter. I'm sure you guys know Coach Carter. That's another Moore County legend.
Yes.
And at that time, I knew, okay, at 13, I did pretty well. But I tell you, when I really, really felt like I was accomplished in sports was on my college team, basketball team, where for the first time, it wasn't assured that I was going to make a team. You come in high school and middle school, you're always on a team. That's just, just figured that's what you did. But when you got in college, it wasn't a guarantee every year. And so I remember one time my coach looked at me, and he was Coach Hanger at that time. He looked at me and thought, hey, that maybe it's not your time, because I had a knee injury at the time. And I remember looking at him and says, no, it's my time. And we still laugh about that to this day, because at that point, I knew I was going to keep moving forward what I wanted to do, and I wasn't going to let anything stop me. And I think at that point, that's when I knew that, hey, I'm not just an athlete. I'm a well above athlete, because I'm at a higher level.
Wow.
That passion.
Yes. He brought it out of me, and we laugh about that to this day. He just had a way to do that, and that brought a certain fire that you just can't. Once you got a certain fire, you can't turn it off.
Yes, sir. All right, Coach G.
Man, you know what, folks? You're going to be calling and saying, man, how come why have y'all waited so long to have Pat Williams on the show? He is dropping dimes, Coach Quick. You know what? And we certainly appreciate him stopping and paying homage to Coach Williams, as well as the legendary Coach Williams and the legendary John Fry. And one thing I really want to cap off here before we take this break is just the willingness of these coaches, to go pick them up and say, here's the thing: you got to invest. You got to invest in the young guys. You got to be able to say, you know what, I'm the coach, and if they can't get here, I'm gonna go get them, and then you know what. So here's the thing, and I'm gonna call all these coaches out. Don't they always expect the kids to show up at the gym? Sometimes you got to run that bus route. Sometimes you got to run that car route. Pack the kids out, get them to the court, get them to the gym. Do what you need to do to make sure that you get that time in to keep them fresh. So think about what Pat just framed out, what Coach Fry was doing in his off season. So, hey, listen, we'll be back. We have on via telephone tennis coach from Greensboro College, Pat Williams, and we'll be back after this break.
You're listening to Basketball More Than a Game with Coach Goins and Coach Quick.
All right, this is Coach Goins along with Coach Quick and our very special guest, via telephone from Greensboro, North Carolina. It's Pat Williams. He is the head men's tennis coach. See, it's very hard not to say basketball because we do a lot of basketball conversations. But Pat Williams is from Sea City. And somebody people say, where's Sea City? That's in Carthage, North Carolina. And watch this right here. Let me tell you what happened to this young man in 2006. He was inducted into the Union Pines Hall of Fame for the 1991 Tennis State Championship. And he was also inducted in 2006 to the Greensboro College Athletic Hall of Fame for men's basketball, 93, 94. So what a huge year, 2006. And he has been instructing tennis for over, if I'm not correct, over 30 years. So if you got any questions on tennis, you make sure that you check this out. Check this podcast out. We're going to have Pat give you some information before the show is out. So, Coach Quick, I see you. Coach Quick, is that you? Have you traded in your sneakers for a tennis racket? Go ahead.
Yeah, I believe so.
All right, go ahead with your question.
Yes, sir. Coach Williams, in college, what was that experience like as an athlete?
Oh man, best time of life right there. Camaraderie with my basketball teammates, my tennis teammates, being able to travel and see different places. I took my first ever plane ride. We were heading to the Elite Eight, and we flew out to Minnesota. That was my first plane ride ever. So remembering those days, riding the buses up and down the East Coast, getting caught, breaking down in the middle of the road in the middle of the night, eating lunches on the bus. Just good time and the camaraderie with your friends. I mean, even to this day, we all still communicate. And then just friendships. I mean, just can't beat those friendships and those bonds. Getting late at night, having to go run at night because we didn't do what we were supposed to do. Things like that. Just good times and being able to watch ourselves grow. I mean, it's amazing. You think about college, you think about what you did your freshman year and then how things turn out by your senior year. You can see how you develop as young men. And so it's amazing to watch that time and how fast it goes by.
Yes, sir. I can imagine when you were away from your family. You know, Greensboro maybe about an hour drive from our hometown, Sea City. But I imagine your teammates became your family
Yes.
when you were away from them.
Yes, sure was. They sure were.
Yes, sir. All right, Coach G, I see you standing at center court. I'm gonna kick it over to you.
Okay, man. Let me put the top on these tennis balls, man. And here's one thing I can never. We're gonna add. This is kind of crazy, but why when they sell tennis balls, they only sell 3 in a can? Is there any? I mean, you know, they don't come in. They don't come in 6. They only come in 3s, and I don't understand that. But do you know? Is there any logic to that, or why did they sell them in 3s? Do you know?
Well, you only get 2 serves. So you have, if you're serving, you got 2 in your pocket. So you're using one to serve, and you got 1 in your pocket, and then technically the other person usually have the other. So that's usually all you need.
Wow.
That's all you need.
Yeah. Right. So you know.
Yeah.
So
hey,
Coach,
whenever you see a bunch of balls out there, if they're not doing drills, that means they're not as consistent as they need to be.
so for all you folks riding by tennis courts, and you look out there, you just heard it from Coach Pat Williams telling you why there's only three. Now see, Coach, look, Coach Quick, I'm 55 years old, right? And I've driven by more tennis courts than I've played on, but in that, right? And in that, I always wondered why they only sold 3 tennis balls in the can. Because I'm like, man, it don't make no sense, man. Like they put a dozen in that joke or something. But now, Coach Williams, and then think about it. You walk out there, and you pop up, and there's nothing like the smell of a fresh can of tennis balls being open.
Oh yeah.
You know, you get out there, next thing you know, man, you ready to work on that backhand. So let me ask you this right here: have you had an opportunity to see the movie with Will Smith? In reference to what is it? King Richard.
King Richard. You know, unfortunately, when I went to see it, it was I missed it out of the theaters, so I didn't get a chance to watch it. But I didn't get a chance to watch the movie yet. But I got a chance to meet with Coach Henry, which you guys may know. Coach Henry, George Henry, he actually worked with the Williams sisters just before they turned pro.
Wow.
And spent a lot of times with Mr. Williams himself. And I've been able to, over the last 3 years, develop a great relationship with him. And I was actually visiting him down in Daytona the first week of this year, and spent some time with him. I took a player down there to meet him and work with him. And so haven't had a chance to watch the whole movie firsthand, but like I said, I've spoken to Coach Henry quite a bit, and he's definitely given me a lot of insight on King Richard and how he developed and how he moved and was able to be so successful with the girls.
Wow. So you know what? That's better than the movie, man.
It works out better than the movie.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of insight. It's a lot of insight and a lot of knowledge to gain from when you can talk to elders, if you will, who are expert at their craft.
I understand. So let me ask you that. I also was on your site, and you correct me if I'm wrong. Do you have a current player or a former player that's been as in what is the academy there in Florida?
IMG.
Yeah,
IMG.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were down there. Have a family, the Delgado family, and we were down for the Eddie Hurd tournament, IMG, the latter part of this year of 2021. And one of the young fellows there, Andrew, he's 16. He's top 5 in the country.
Wow.
And he actually won the Orange Bowl, which is a major in doubles. And he finished it. He made it to the semifinals in the Orange Bowl down there. And then his brother, James, who's just turned 18, he's looking to go futures and tries to make his way on the pro circuit. You know, I take him to visit Coach Henry down there in Daytona the first of the year. We went to down in the Miami area for about a week as he was starting to play some tournaments down there for some futures to get on the circuit.
Wow. So, folks, let me tell you, not only is Pat Williams get it done on the football field, on the basketball court, on the tennis court, he also gets it done inside the classroom. 1993 through 95, he was Dixie Conference All-Academic Team. 1995, 1996, Most Improved Men's Basketball. And then also Greensboro College Men's Team MVP and Coaches Award. You don't achieve that by walking around not knowing what you're doing. You don't achieve that by not going to class. You don't achieve that by not listening to your coaches and putting the full body work in. So Coach Pat Williams he's a 2-star college athlete. He just wasn't on the team. He was making impact. So you can see some of the accolades that he had in the past. You heard him talk about some of the elite some of the elite professional tennis coaches that he sits across, has dinner with, conversates. So again, who we have on is no small potato. So with that, before I kick it over to Coach Quick, Pat, if you don't mind, give us your plug on how people can get in contact with you if they're interested in tennis lessons, your webs, all of that good stuff. If you'll go ahead and give us that right now.
Sure, you can look on my website, patstennisaces.com. You can also email me at patstennisaces.com. You can get me on Instagram at patstennisaces as well. Shoot me a message, and you can shoot me directly at 336-908-8176.
That's exactly right. So you know what? If you got to back it up and rewrite it, back it up, but we're going to have them share it before we get off of here. Coach Quick, I'll go ahead and kick it to you for the in the paint session.
Yes, sir. Pat Tennis Aces, your vision in 20 years.
Sure. It's an academy. It's going to be an academy where we host top players, helping them fulfill their dreams. We're pretty set right now, getting in that position right now. We're based out of the Grand Over Resort right there in Greensboro, North Carolina. Beautiful hotel and setting and community. Looking to get a place that we just got a place that we can house kids as well. So we have that on site. So we can house kids for a long-term stay. And now we have a handful of nationally ranked players. And now we're looking to expand and grow as we go up, keep moving forward. That's really what we're looking to do. I pride myself that I'm able to work with everybody I work with everybody from 5 years old, 3, 4, 5 years old, all the way up to those who are trying to, make it on tour or on tour. And so within a day, I'm at it, and I pride myself on being able to have a lot of depth of the sport, meaning from basic beginning all the way up to high level coaching. So for me, it's all about just watching everybody improve, taking a new player, watching that piece of clay and molding it and making it something special. And most importantly, just helping people with their dreams. When somebody comes to me and, my first thing is what you want to accomplish. And I let everybody know I'm your biggest advocate. I'm your advocate to help you get where you want to be. I've been very successful in being successful in different things, on the court, off the court. And I know what it takes. So the fun part for me is just helping my kids and adults as well be successful in what their goals are. Wow. It was one of the things I just got a text from one of my guys just a minute ago. He's 12. He just won a tournament. He played in the 16s. He just completed it today. So that's the type of stuff that gets me excited.
Man, that's outstanding right there. Your passion and your drive to be able to succeed and help others succeed is pretty amazing. And you gave kudos to Coach Williams and Coach Fry along the way for helping you, and now you're paying it forward. And hey, best of luck and Godspeed to you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir. Coach G, I see you and kicking it over to you.
You know what? We might have to come out of retirement, Coach Quick. We roll up there with our tennis shorts and sneakers and our polo shirts on and our rackets, and Pat would look over there and he said, "Y'all need to go sit down somewhere, man." He said, "Y'all get."
No, you guys will do fine.
He said,
"You guys will do fine."
He said, "Man, y'all get off the court, man." He said, I need some ball boys. Y'all go over there and y'all go over there and kneel down by the net and run after those balls. Hey, Pat. So here's my question to you. It's Black History Month. And so in that, what we like to ask our guests is, if you had to spend a day with someone back in from Black history, who would that someone be and why?
Arthur Ashe.
Wow.
Arthur Ashe. His depth as a person, his intelligence. And then obviously his understanding of the tennis game and just how he managed life. I think he was a great role model for tennis, the sport, as well as humanity. And, I think it would be a lot that could be gained that I could probably share and push forward in other things that we're doing today. That's just a lot of knowledge there.
Wow. That is a great call out. That is a forerunner. That is a man that was before his time, that played and jumped hurdles and opened up doors. And I certainly appreciate you recognizing him, because a lot of times I don't think he gets his just due, just because, sometimes people, they forget about Arthur Ashe. But that was one great call out. And we certainly appreciate you recognizing that. So here's the thing. So I got to ask this question. So with you being a football guy in basketball, I'm going to ask you what is your favorite football team? Pro.
All right, you guys ready for this one?
I'm sitting down.
Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna edit that out of the show. So in other words, watch this. So if this guy, Coach Quick, meaning Coach Pat Williams, if he was the guy that needs, if Dak can't get it right, we're gonna bring him out of retirement.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Because if he got to go out and just check down and throw it out there to C.D. Lamb and Coop and all them guys, he can make that pass. All right, so we'll get all right. We'll you know what, we always got room for improvement. So he says the Dallas Cowboys. Now let's turn it to basketball. Who is your favorite college basketball team?
UNC Chapel Hill.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, man. He bounced back quick. Now here's the thing. Taping of this show, it was right after the Carolina Duke game. Carolina they rolled into Chapel Hill last night. They laid almost like a dozen eggs. So in that, what was your take on the game?
Not the intensity. I didn't see the intensity for that type of game from players. I didn't see didn't see somebody willing to fight, and you got to be willing to fight with some intensity on that. And I didn't see the edge, if you would say. I didn't see any edge.
Wow.
I didn't see that. And I think that's what they missed.
Wow. Coach Quick.
Pat, I got a question to piggyback off that, and you're a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel HD is the man for the job?
I feel like from what I've seen of him, from what I see of him, he's the coach for the job. Knowledge-wise, I think we need to make sure we need passion, and I think you got to be able to bring that out in players. Or you need to recruit more players with more passion, with more fight. I think it's a good thing to have players, but we need athletes and kids with an edge to compete at that high level. I think we got great fundamental players, and that works out. But if you want to be at that top percent, that top 5, you got to have some, as we like to say, you got to have a little dog in you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You either got it or you don't. That's all it is.
Wow, man.
So is he too nice?
I don't know if he's. I mean, I don't know if I can't really say that about him. I just think I need to see players with that, and you got to figure out how to bring it out of them or to recruit that. I mean, at the end of the day, they got to have that in them.
Okay, well now one more question. Do you feel like sometimes as a coach your kids adapt your mentality?
Yes. Because you're gonna rub off on them or they're gonna rub off on you. If you're the leader of the ship, you gotta lead it. And if you're not leading it, then hey, maybe we're not together here. I mean, it's just that way. I think there's ways to communicate, but there's ways to communicate those things. But I think at some point you gotta in that situation. I don't think I remember him getting overly fired up.
No.
You take that first 6-7 minutes when things broke open pretty quickly. At that point, hey man, we got to stop this. I don't know what's going on, but y'all better wake up. And I don't think that happened because it never changed. It was the same tempo the whole thing.
Right. And I'll say this, and I'll kick it back over to Coach G. I saw more fire in him last week against North Carolina State when you're up 20 or 25. But I felt like that was because of the surroundings. The GOAT was in the building, and you honored Roy Williams. I seen a lot of fire then, but the one last night is the one you should be jacked up for.
I think yes. I mean, you're home. You're undefeated at home, from what I remember. You're undefeated.
Yes,
and you start out. I remember 2 to 19 or 2 to 24 or something. 8 to 24. At that point, you don't let it get out of hand.
What'd you say, Coach Quick? It was what?
31 to 8 at one point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you just don't let it get out of hand. You got to stop that in that first 6 to 7 minutes when it was a roll. When Duke was on a roll, I think they could have stopped then. And I think it was a time for a team meeting at that point to get everybody, hey, wake up, let's go.
I agree.
Because it never changed. The tempo, everything stayed the same.
Yes, sir. And that's why I wonder if I'll support him because he's a Tar Heel. But I just wonder, is he the fit?
My insiders tell me that, from what I gather from basketball, that everybody feels like Stackhouse might have been a good person for recruiting the right type of player that they really needed to go over the edge.
Yes, sir. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
that was confirmation right there from Pat Williams, Coach Pat Williams, to Coach Mike Quick, because I know he is definitely Jerry's. And I think, and I'm gonna weigh in on that. I think Coach Pat Williams, who's on our show, is exactly right. You know, you have to recruit players with edge. You know, and when I say edge, I always call it a light switch. You got to be able to turn the light switch on when you step on the court, and when the game is over, turn it off. But you go out, you play soft, and you don't have that. You got to have that. You got to have that little bit of, all right, I got a little swag, I got a little confidence. You got to be able to play with that. And a lot of times, kids nowadays come in, because here's the thing: whether you play at Duke, whether you play at Carolina, you got a target on your back. Every time somebody comes in your house, they're trying to embarrass you. And they're not gonna come in and lay down just because you the Hills or you from the Bull City. So, but in that, I certainly appreciate Pat's comments on that. So, with that, Coach Quick, I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping it up, and then I'll toss it back over to you for your closing comments. But first of all, Pat, I want to thank you for what you've done, your body of work from Sea City days, Union Pines days, the impact that you made. You're a 2-time Hall of Famer. You are a 3-sport letterman. You are an academic All-American. I mean, when you go top to bottom, the impact that you've made and what you do in just absolutely getting it done as relates to your career, tennis, you know, coaching tennis, giving back. Certainly appreciate you sharing the stories with Coach Williams and Coach Fry and your entire body of work. So I want to thank you, and we wish you Godspeed. Coach Quick?
Yes, sir. Pat, I just want to say it was an honor and a pleasure to have you on the show today. For me, growing up as a little boy, I remember you were friends with my cousin Raymond, friends with Walt Williams. Just being able to watch you just be a big-time athlete in the Moore County area was awesome for me. I know your cousins, Maurice McCrimmon, and those guys. Man, it was just an honor to have you on today. I appreciate what you're doing. I bid you Godspeed with Pat Tennis Faces and everything that you do.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, guys. It's been great.
We certainly appreciate it, Pat. So listen, if you don't mind, before we go off there, if you can give your information one more time, I'd certainly appreciate it. Sure
thing. That's patstennisaces.com. You can reach me also on Instagram at patstennisaces, and you can email me at pat@patstennisaces.com, or you can call me directly at 336-908-8176.
So, folks, you've heard it right there from Coach Pat Williams. So if you are interested in anything dealing with tennis, he's already laid it out. We certainly appreciate your body of work, and we thank you for what you continue to do for your clients in the Mecklenburg County as well as Moore County and surrounding counties. So with that, Coach Quick, get us to the locker room.
Yes, sir. Coach Goins, Coach Pat Williams, the owner of Pat Tennis Aces, as well as Greensboro College head men's tennis coach. And for myself, Coach Quick, we'll see you in the gym.
You've been listening to Basketball More Than a Game with Coach Goins and Coach Quick. Our podcast is available on podbean.com.